Hello everyone today, actually good night, since this is another session of Notes at Night. It is presently 11:24 and it's just about a minute shy of 2 hours past my bedtime. But that's okay, because the kids are asleep and it's a good time. My migraine's gone. So, what we're going to be talking about today is how to do metric conversions, kind of a visual, using a mnemonic device. I call it the non-math way. So we're going past the first page and onto this page right here. And I'm going to see if I can zoom this out a little bit, because it's not a portrait, but it's a landscape page. Okay, that's probably good enough. Alright, I just made it bigger so we can see it, because this is what we're going to be focusing on. And we're going to go smaller first. And what we got is 10 to the 0. That's equivalent to 1. And it's base units. So remember in the last video we talked about the 5 base units. There's actually 7, 2 of them are for physics, 5 of them we're going to be dealing with. This would be the time that if we were face to face, I would say, so who can name the 5 base units? And someone would say, oh, I can. And I'd say, okay, why don't you name the 5 base units? And then they would say meter, gram, I don't know what else, Mr. Ebner. And then I would have to call on someone else, and they would help finish it off. So someone else would say like seconds, and then I'd ask someone else to share one. Kelvin is another. And if there's a situation where nobody's saying it, it's a shy group and they weren't really paying attention to the video before, then I would have to kind of fill in and say, well, remember the one that chemists really like? Yeah, moles, remember? Come on. Okay, so we got meter, gram, seconds, Kelvin, moles. Those are the 5 base units. And if we're at 10 to 0, it's 1. Alright. A little chilly in here because the window's open and I guess it gets cold in September. Summer's over. Okay, moving on. We're going to go to the left with our decimal. Okay, I misspoke. We're not going left with our decimal. We're just going left, meaning we're going to be getting bigger. And when we go right, we're going to be getting smaller. Alright, so we're going to be adding prefixes. And something that's a little bit bigger than meter is decameter. We got decameter. And decameter is 10 to the 1. Also known as 10. So basically 10 meters are in 1 decameter. That's what we're trying to say. Next one is going to be hecto. So if you got a hectometer, that's like saying you got 10 to the second meters, or 100. 100 meters are in a hectometer. The next one is going to be familiar to you guys, especially those cross-country and track people. We got kilo. So a kilometer has 10 to the third meters, or we could say 1,000. And then the funny thing happens. Notice how we're just moving one step, one step, one step. Well, the next one's over here. So now we're moving 1, 2, 3 steps. So this is advanced. Like as long as we get to know these first 6, that's looking really good. We can know the other 6. That's really, really good. And that's like IB Chem, AP Chem potential right over there. But if you think about it, if you know anything about computers, like basic stuff, you probably have heard of the word megabyte. All right. So we got megabyte. And it's, or in this case, megameter. I'm just going to speak in bytes because unless you're an astronomer, you're not going to be talking in these large numbers for meters. So we'll talk in bytes. This is 4, 5, 6. 10 to the 6 bytes are in 1 megabyte. And that's like saying 1 million. Kind of back in the 90s, that was a lot. I got a couple megabytes. Next we go to giga. It's getting a little more sophisticated. That's 10 to the 9th. Nowadays, you know, you can fit a bunch of gigabytes on a DVD, CD. I really don't know much about computers. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. We're talking a billion. So 1 billion bytes is equivalent to a gigabyte. Next step is a trillion. And that's, you guessed it, tera. And I'm pretty sure they probably got computers that go beyond that. I just know enough about computers to get by. So a trillion is, I think, 4 sets of 3 zeros. It's a big number. But you know what's bigger? Our national debt. Unfortunately. Okay. What we got going on next is we're going to go smaller. And we're going to go 10 to the negative 1 because we're going smaller. So a little bit smaller than a meter would be a decimeter. A decimeter. 10 to the negative 1, also known as 0.1 meters. Alright, and a little bit smaller is something that's a little bit more familiar. Centi. So we all heard of centimeters. It's 10 to the negative 2nd, also known as 0.01 meters, is equivalent to 1 centimeter. And you probably know the next one, milli. That's 10 to the negative 3, also known as 0.001. That's how many meters are in an itsy bitsy millimeter. Alright, now we got the challenge ones. So we're going 1, 2, 3 steps. 10 to the negative 6. And you've heard this in biology. It's micro. Micro. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. 0.00001 meters are in 1 micrometer. Getting smaller, you've heard of nanotechnology. Very, 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 very small. And that's N-A-N-O, nano, which would be 10 to the negative 9th, also known as 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 zeros and a 1. Very small. And then even smaller, talking at molecular scale, pico, which is 10 to the negative 12. And that's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's 11 zeros and a 1. And you can see there's all these zeros. It's really dizzying. And that's why we have this scientific notation, which we'll cover in another Notes at Night video. Or it might be Notes at Dusk, depending upon when I can do it. But it might be noisy, because kids they're awake then. Alright. Okay, what I want to do now is show the abbreviations with these prefixes. So tera is simply going to be T, giga is going to be G, mega is going to be M, and notice how I'm capitalizing these. It's capital T, capital G, capital M. Big is capital. This kind of helps you to remember. Then we go kilos K, hectos H, deca's capital D, because deci is lowercase d. Notice I do not capitalize K and H. They should, just to be consistent, but yeah, I'm not sure why. But sorry. Centi is lowercase c. Milli is lowercase m. Well, because uppercase m is mega, so that's taken, so we got to do lowercase. But what happens when uppercase and lowercase are both taken? Well, then you go Greek. So, micro is the Greek symbol mu. You all knew that, right? Okay, and then nano is lowercase n, and pico is lowercase p. So, how can you remember all of this? Because you are going to have to remember, at the very least, the main six. Remember that King Henry guy? Yeah, well, he's going to help you. So, I have the acronym. King Henry died by drinking chocolate milk. Not sure if that's how he actually died. Probably not. But it works for the mnemonic device, or acronym. How do you add these other three? Well, we could say the great mighty King Henry died by drinking chocolate milk, making Nancy pout. You could say puke, but someone one year didn't like that, so I switched it to pout. Yeah. Or you can make up your own. As you can see right here, it says make up your own. The great mighty King Henry died by drinking chocolate milk, making Nancy pout. It's the one that I'm going to be using over and over again. All right, it is example time. So, let's do some examples. All right, what happens if you don't have this little chart? Well, good thing you remember that King Henry died by drinking chocolate milk. So I'm going to make, here's a little strategy. You can make a staircase. It's a nice visual. I'm going to put a K here. That's for kilo. King Henry died by drinking chocolate milk. Kilo, hecto, deca, base, deci, centi, milli. And let's say we have, let's do 51. Which one do you guys want to do? 51 centimeters? Okay. 51 centimeters. And we want to convert it to, let's go simple. Let's convert it to millimeters. Okay. I've got 51, and I want to convert, and that's centimeters. I want to convert to millimeters. So centimeters is right here. Millimeters is right here. I'm going to move one step, and I'm moving to the right. So my decimal is after the last number, and I'm moving one step with my decimal to the right. Got some joyriders out there. All right. So that's going to be 510. 510. So 510 millimeters is the same thing as 51 centimeters. Insane. Okay. Why don't we do another one that's similar? Let's just do, I don't know, 100 meter dash. How many millimeters is that? All right. Well, meters, first off, is base unit. And we're going to go 1, 2, 3 spots to the right. So that's 1, 2, 3 spots. So I'm going to have to add 3 zeros. So 1, 2, 3. 100,000 millimeters is equivalent to 100 meters. Let's do one that's slightly different. Like, let's do 100 centimeters. And we want to convert it to kilometers. All right. So centi goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5 steps that we're moving to the left. All right. So where's my decimal? Right after the last zero. and I'm moving 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I got to add 2 zeros. So really this is like 0.00100 kilometers. So 100 centimeters is equivalent to 0.001 kilometers. Well, why don't we do those challenge ones? Alright, so the challenge ones, we're going to add some more steps. The great mighty tera giga mega kilo hecto deca base deci centi milli micro nano pico. So why don't we try to figure out, let's say you got a 3.2 gigabyte DVD storage disk. Alright, 3.2. And for some reason your computer's only showing your files in kilobytes. It's like, oh man, kilobytes. I don't know what that is. Okay, so I'm going to convert it to kilobyte. So I'm going from giga to mega to kilo. Some people would say, oh, that's just 2 steps to the right. I know how to do that. Well, remember, over here, from giga to mega, it's 1, 2, 3 steps. And then to mega to kilo, it's 1, 2, 3 steps. Kilo to hecto would be then 1 step. But we're just going from giga to mega, 3 steps, mega to kilo, 3 steps, which makes a total, excuse me, notes at night. Alright, so we have a total of 3 plus 3 is 6 steps moving to the right, which looks like I'm pointing to the left on my screen, so I'll just point on this way. It's moving to the right. Okay, so we got 3.2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. So technically I'm at 1, 2, 3, comma, 1, 2, 3, comma, there's basically 3,200,000 kilobytes and 3.2 gigabytes. So look at that, I'm doing science. I am converting different units of the metric system into different units within the metric system. And I'm doing it without doing too much math. Is there a math way? Yes. Are we going to go over it? Yes. But not on this video, because it's getting pretty late. And this has been a really good Notes at Night session. So whether it's the day or the night, or you plan on watching another video, have a good one. I'm signing off.